Hey guys, good morning. How's everybody? Just wanted to jump on and check in with you guys. I haven't checked in in a while. Still having crazy dreams. I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. Just waiting for my chat to come up as well. I'm on my phone as always now. So, my chat's not always here. Just waiting and waiting for it. But yeah, how is everybody? Mm. It's officially getting warm here. Let's see. Yes, good morning. Hello, hello. Hey guys, there's everybody. But yeah, how's everybody doing with their little situations and quarantine and self-quarantine lockdown stuff? Let's see. Morning. Hey guys, hi. Let's see. Yeah, it's been interesting. I'm still like not really I'm not tuned into time. I feel like I've that's been my that's how I've been for like, months now, but I feel like right now it's really like I have no idea what year we are, what month we're in. Uh we're good, excited for the portal. Oh yeah, today's 4-4. I was gonna do an energy shift reading today. I'll probably do it after this. I'm trying to wake up a little bit before I go ahead and I do it. Let's see, sleeping. Let's see, just been waiting on this. I've been very unmotivated lately. Oh, trying to get a routine going. Okay, that's okay. Definitely a good time to get a routine going, especially today. So yesterday, Venus went into Gemini. Today is 4-4, but more importantly, today Jupiter is conjunct Pluto. It's the first time out of the 3 times it will happen this year. It's also going to happen on, I think, June 30th and November 14th, I want to say. It could be the 13th. I think it's the 14th. It could be the 13th, though. So that's going to happen 3 times this year, and today is the first time that it's happening on 4-4. So like I said, I'll be doing an energy shift reading on it, but it's really a good time to check in with yourself about what you want to change. Okay, about some of the things that have been really difficult for you to change about yourself, or like bad habits, things like that. It's also a time when we're kind of craving success. So if you're craving success, decide what you want to be successful at, and just go for it. Okay, just try to manifest it, try to put effort into it. It's a time to be very productive. So I've noticed that some of you are like, it's hard for me to be motivated right now. This is a great energy to try to use to amp up that motivation, to get a routine going, to get some projects going. You might even feel a little what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Riskier. Like you might want to take some risks coming up soon. Let's see. Oh my God, hi. Hello. Let's see, trying to learn new things and do some creative projects while I'm stuck at home. Awesome. I've been very bored, hoping for some positive forward movement in my life. So I've been trying to be creative. Yeah, be creative. The only way to make that happen is to put energy into it, to actually start momentum in that area of your life. Do you believe that cardinals have a spiritual meaning? There's one that follows me everywhere on my walks. They do, and it's interesting. Red cardinals have been following me a lot lately too. Um, I don't know innately what the meaning would be for a cardinal. I mean, I feel like birds in general are very like divine, and they're usually about communication. They're usually messengers. I know some birds are more like messengers of love and hope, and some are more about like, hey, just reminding you you're protected, or hey, just reminding you that there's some crazy shit coming on, you know? But cardinals specifically, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. What kind of cardinal is it? I'm kind of curious. What kind of cardinal is it? I feel like the color would make a big difference. So many messages. Dreamt of a snake chasing me last night while I was in my old elementary school. Red, 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 red. Oh, okay. To be honest with you, I feel like that's about passion. That's about creative energy. That's about inspiration. Yeah, it could indicate romance. I feel like most birds are not about romantic situations, though. I feel like they're mostly about your path, because they are such divine creatures, and they usually are about like messages, communication directly from spirit, and they're birds, right? They see, they are sight, they are also flight. I always feel like it's always related to your path specifically, and what you're supposed to be doing, and like a reminder of, hey, maybe you need to tap into more of like your creative fire, or hey, maybe you need a little reminder that you are being guided and you're protected right now, or hey, maybe you need a little reminder that you need to like check in with your own honesty with yourself, right? I feel like that's what red cardinals would be about needing to get creative. Um, let's see. I had 2 red cardinals coming to the trees right outside my window. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, hawks. Fucking love hawks. Yeah, that's definitely when hawks come out. I mean, it's all in context, right? We all get a lot of messages from spirit all the time. So it's always about the context that you're seeing these things or experiencing these things. Hawk for me is a totem. So I see hawks fairly often. But hawks to me, I know are about protection. I know hawks are about protection. I have them taped on my kitchen window every morning. Aw, let's see. I see hawks a lot and owls. Owls are big. Owls are really big. Excuse me. I'm drinking my coffee. Owls about intuition. Let's see. Mm. Ooh, wasps. Wasps are about cycles ending. Wasps. Ugh. Like I said, it's always depends on the context that you're seeing these things, but that's what wasps. I can't even say that word. Wasps are to me just like really tumultuous endings that are coming or that need to happen. Sometimes you see them because they need to happen, and maybe you're not paying attention to that. But anyway, guys, hi, good morning. So I wanted to also share something with you that I experienced this morning. I'm still asleep, so hang in there with me. I'm still kind of asleep. Can you tell I can't open my eyes all the way? Um, so I've been wanting to like do a hike and all of that, and like specifically to go and see some petroglyphs. And it's interesting because when I was here in January, February of 2019, I had my first like automatic writing drawing experience. I guess it's more like it's technically drawing. And I've never experienced that before. And it just like came out of me. And it was definitely like a location. Like I drew like a creek or a river, and there was some petroglyphs, and there was like some like vegetation and stuff. And there was like this thing coming out of the water, which I can only indicate as energy, right? But I don't know what it was. I was just like, oh, look at that. Um, and I didn't really know what to do with it, so I just kind of put it away. And I was looking for a hike this morning for petroglyphs, and I came across a couple YouTube videos of people doing this like secret petroglyph hike. And I look at it and I'm like, holy shit. I was like, I drew that. Like, that's exactly what I drew, like a little over a year ago. So unfortunately, they don't disclose the exact location of like, of where it is. So I just know the general like area, but I'm like, damn it, I need to go. Like, damn it, I need to go. I need to go and figure out like how to get there. I know like a general 5 mile radius of where they're talking about, but that's also kind of a lot of ground to cover in places that's not like a technical trail. Oh, Erica, thank you for the 19.99. You're amazing. Thank you. Oh, thank you. It's a generous donation. Oh, I just noticed the tally for the super chat. I'm so sorry if I missed your super chats, guys. Like I said, I'm like not awake. Christy, thank you for the 440. You're guiding me through this my happiness journey. Oh, okay. I'm glad it's a happy journey. I'm so sorry, guys. I can't believe I missed them. My bad. I shouldn't do lives when I'm this tired, when I'm this groggy. I had weird sleep last night. I know there were more. Why can't I? Oh, Anima! Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Anima. Thank you for the $20. Hey, WaterBaby, hope you're doing well. What does it mean if someone buries their face into your neck in a dream? Also, my guides told me I was very aligned in the divine matrix. What the hell that means? Love you. I mean, if someone's like, that to me is like, what's the word? Nuzzling. That's nuzzling. I mean, that's affection. Some of these things, guys, are very simple. Some of them are very obvious. That's all that means. Like someone's just loving on you. That's all it is. That's all it is. Interesting. Aligned in the divine matrix. I've never heard of the term divine matrix. I would try to really tap in with yourself to try to understand like what they were trying to communicate with you, because that seems like something very specific between you and your guides. Divine matrix. It's really hard for me to wrap my head around those words, divine matrix, because I think of the matrix as like the matrix, right? Like the simulation. And anything outside of that, I feel like would just be, okay, let me think about that. Because we're in a simulation, but then we have all these other dimensions that are not part of the simulation, which I guess you could say is part of like the divine layering and access points of the matrix, which I guess you could argue is the divine matrix, is just the upper dimensions. Let's see. Did I miss any others? I'm so sorry, guys. Note to self, do not do these when you are really tired. Okay, let me go all the way down. Okay, there we go. Yesterday I thought that about the fifth dimensions. I keep having fish appear in my dreams. Yeah, guys, so the thing about dreams right now, dreams are really crazy right now. You got to really pay attention to your dreams. Um, Sorry I sent you into the rabbit hole. Oh no, it's okay, Annabelle. It's totally fine. You know me, I enjoy that. I actually really want to keep my eyes closed because I feel so groggy. I haven't been sleeping well. So with dreams lately, oh, Michelle, thank you for the 1111. Love you, still working because I work for a hospital, so I've been receiving many messages from crows. Oh, yeah, crows have been following me everywhere too. The other day, I was in a parking lot and I was trying to leave, and I was turned my car on. Oh, wait, thank you for the 4444 lemon. Oh, lemon. That's cute. Thank you for all that you do. Well, thank you. I was in the parking lot and I turned my car on. Like everyone turns their car on like this anymore. So I turned my car on, and all of a sudden this crow was going right towards my, like right straight into my windshield, like facing me. And I was like, oh my God. And it actually like caught me off guard. I've never seen a bird do that. Like I'm totally stationary and it's like it's dead-eyed locked with me coming in straight like into my windshield. And I just like I clamped up and I was like, holy shit. And I didn't want to hurt it, right? So I just froze. And then it like once it got really close, it like swooped down to like next to my car. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not moving for a while because that was a little startling. But yeah, crows are interesting. And that's the thing, guys. A lot of these totems come in a lot of different flavors, a lot of different kinds of messages. So please be very mindful that it's all about the context in which you're experiencing these things, right? Hold on. Love Flow, thank you for the 1111. Hi, Roden. Hi. Could you touch on, excuse me, betrayal and how to deal with it? Oh, interesting. Thank you. Love seeing you this AM. Sorry, I keep burping coffee. So how to deal with betrayal. Oh, this it's so weird. It feels like it's flashing back to 2019. Um, so gosh, when it comes to betrayal, I mean, guys, God, this is gonna. I really hope I don't. I hope I'm not gonna come off as abrasive or too blunt or tactless when I say this. I'm trying really hard to find like the softest way to say this. Um, People are always gonna do whatever the hell they want, and it's not a reflection on you, and it doesn't have to be your problem. Probably sounds very abrasive the way I just said it. If someone's gonna betray you, they're gonna betray you, and you just don't have to let it be your problem. I like I God, that probably sounds I'm trying to find a soft way. I'm like, I don't know a soft way to say this at this point. Yeah, I mean that's it. It's like it's not a reflection on you. It's not a reflection on the decisions you've made. It's not a reflection on who you are as a person. It is not a reflection on your worth or anything like that. And it might hurt. It might, but if it's hurting you, it's like, okay, that hurt and that's on them and that's their shit. And I don't have to let it bother me beyond that point. And I know that that probably sounds very like I can feel it. I'm like, oh my God, like where is my softness today with this? I'm like, I don't have it. So this is a shift I've noticed within myself recently. Um, and I apologize if I am offending any of you or if I'm coming off too abrasive. I do apologize. Um, so I've noticed this shift within myself since moving, and I think it's just because I needed the space to expand a little bit. And plus, I think this whole social distancing is helping me with that. Um, I don't have. I feel like I'm about to bury myself. Um, I don't have a high tolerance for certain things anymore. Um, I don't. Just because it's like I see it and I get it. It's like I understand because I've been there. Like I have been there where I let a lot of people upset me and I've carried it around with me. And to what end? It is completely unnecessary and it's completely unproductive. And all it does is it gets in the way of anything that you want to do for yourself, right? So I've come to this place where it's like I've become kind of intolerant of it. And I know that's probably not like the greatest admission, but I'm just being completely honest with you guys. I'm being completely honest with you guys. And I think having this space has allowed me to just kind of own that part of me a little bit more. Because I think that's something about me that I've always had, but I think because of like social conditioning, social conditioning, I've tried to like put that part of me away, but the truth of it is like, oh no, this is kind of who I am. I've always kind of felt very intolerant of it, but it's always been this kind of like, it's not okay to be intolerant of it. Uh, let's see, Juliana, thank you for I can't speak. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the $5. Hi, Ronan. Can you respond to Alyssa's 10 super chat? I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Capricorn reading. Oh shit, sorry guys, I was getting all caught up in that. But yeah, I have an intolerance for it at this point because I see how unnecessary it is, and it's just part of programming too to also get caught up in it. And it's like at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't have to be your problem. It doesn't have someone else's shit does not have to be your problem. It doesn't have to be, especially if you have the awareness of yourself to know that their betrayal is completely separate from you and anything you do and anything that you are. Why would you ever let it be your problem, right? And again, I've been there. I have, and I'm glad that I am stepping more into this part of me, but I know that this part of me rubs people the wrong way. Tyson, thank you for the $5. Great wisdom in weird times. Muchas gracias. You're welcome. Thank you for the fifth. Oh, I don't know what kind of currency that is. CHF. I don't know that kind of currency. That's interesting. Thank you for the 15 CHF. You are great and beautiful. Thank you, DSN. Where did that $10 super chat go? Hold on. I'm going to find it. I'm so sorry I'm a little scattered this morning. So sorry. Why am I not seeing it? No, I talked about that one. Where did the $10 one go? Did I miss it? The Lemon 11, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Where is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, there it is. I listened to your Patreon reading about April Capricorns tapping into dark energy. Do you mean using black magic? No. Using magic to manifest, is it dangerous to use that? Yeah, I was not referring to black magic in that. When it comes to energy, there's a spectrum for everything, right? We can talk about light, we can talk about dark. They're just, I think, actually, maybe we need new words for them. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we need new words for these like classifications and spectrums because I do think that they are misleading. I'm going to talk more about that. I just want to make sure I catch up with everybody. And thank you, Sarah, for the 99 cents. Oh my God, you guys, all the super chats this morning, you guys are so generous. B-Bron, thank you for the $20. I'm recently experiencing ascension. I feel like I'm being watched or followed. That is a big part of it because you're just feeling all the energies around you because there's a lot around us all the time. So that's what you're feeling. You're just feeling them. Moon Goddess, thank you for the $3.99 and the little cute coffee mug emoji. Ambrosia, thank you for the $5. Oh my God, you guys, I can't catch up. Christina, the 1212. I'm seeing this number everywhere. 1212 was a good number. I feel like that's really about your alignment because it's the 2 working through the 1 to get to the 3, right? Which is about throwing yourself into a lot of creative endeavors and networking with people and talking with people. Okay, I am caught up now. Oh yeah, so let's talk about that Capricorn reading. So this was a reading I did on Patreon. It was a really intense reading for Capricorn, and it came up again in the Earth crystal reading I did here on YouTube. So basically, what I meant by dark energy, I don't mean black magic. I don't mean anything like that. We all have that spectrum of energy within us, right? To be far on this side and light, to be far on this side on dark. What I mean by dark energy, it's like that's your energy that you use to dismantle things. That is what dark energy is. And I think it's been very misunderstood. Hold on, I know I missed one. Sarah, thank you for another super chat. The 1999 super generous. Thank you. When I talk about dark energy, I don't mean black magic. I don't mean like using the devil. I don't mean anything like that. I mean, we are using that side of us that we use to dismantle things in our life, to cut people away, to really break shit down. That's what dark energy does. It is destructive, but we need that, right? We need that to create. You can't create unless you can destroy things first, right? So we all need to do that. We all need to be able to be capable of that. Capricorn energy was really leaned into that side, like hardcore leaned into that side for April. It was like, oh shit. It's like total power of wanting to just break shit down, right? So I was like, okay, this is interesting, Capricorn. And it kind of makes sense because a lot of the Capricorn energy we're experiencing is about dismantling the patriarchy. It's representing that part of what we're going through. You know what I mean? So it kind of makes sense it would come up like that in the Capricorn reading, that Capricorns are in that mode of like, what can I get rid of? What can I break down? What can I get away from in order to just get back to a sense of norm and create? Like Capricorn energy is very serious in April. Really, really, really serious in April. Like really meaning business. And when you're ready to create something big and you're in that like very serious no taking shit mode, you are going to be in dark energy because you're ready to make space for the things that you want to create. You know what I mean? Let's see. I started painting again. Oh, good. Yeah, I've started getting back into my art too. I think it's really important to create any way that you can. You know what I mean? Let's see. Capricorn are tired of all the shit, frustrated with all the work without results, looking into eliminating ties. Yeah, exactly. And that's what dark energy is. And like, guys, that's the thing. Dark energy is not inherently bad. However, you use any kind of energy, it's all about the intention behind it. So when I say dark energy, I never refer to magic unless I'm saying magic. Okay. Um, so for those in the black magic debacles, like I know some people have been on the receiving end of a lot of black magic and shit that comes with that. So when we talk about magic, magic is the use and manipulation of energy. It is. That is what magic is. You can do that without, you can manipulate energy without having to do rituals like magic, but you can. You know, it's all a matter of preference and what you think is right for you. Jody, thank you for the 1111. Um, but with black magic, I mean, that's also something that I think has actually lost a sense of power in like the last year or so, just based off my observation. Oh my God, you guys, hold on. Pamela, thank you for the 9.99. I'm a Capricorn. I listened to your Patreon message. I was wondering if this is energy about Heyoka empaths. I've been in this energy since 2016. I need to do a video on Heyoka empath. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me write this down because I'm going to forget. I have papers everywhere. I'm a hot mess sometimes. Okay. That's a video I've been wanting to do on Heyoka empaths because I feel like that is not the proper term to be using for what that is, for what most people refer to Heyoka empaths as, because Heyoka empaths refers to a very specific tribe. Oh yeah, that's a whole discussion. Okay, I'm gonna make a Balmy Spirit episode on this actually. Hold on. And what episode are we on? 4? Yeah, okay. So I'll do a video on that to explain it because like people have been asking me more about that lately. So I guess it's coming back up into people's consciousness and awareness. So just a brief rundown because I want to get into the specifics on the video itself to just like have it be more clear. Heyoka empath, that term came out of a very specific tribe and it's kind of been taken to label a certain kind of being, which I think is inaccurate. So that's something I think that needs to change. Heyoka empaths, what people refer to them as, what people know them as, they're kind of like the ultimate empath. They're the ultimate mirror. So yes, when I talked about the Capricorn reading where it's like Capricorns are kind of like, they're acting like this epitome of truth. Like they can't stop seeing truth, getting truth out of people. That is what again, what people refer to a Heyoka empath as, that is what they do just naturally. To answer your question. I've never heard of this term. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. It's like I know sometimes these terms can get misconstrued, and I really want to refer to that type of being as something else because that comes from a very, like I said, a very specific tribe. Out of all the tribes that have existed, it's like that one term's been taken to label a whole group of beings, and I think that is, it just feels wrong to me. It just feels immoral to me on some level. Let's see. Do you get freaked out by paranormal occurrences? How do you deal with it? Oh, I'm glad you brought this up because there's been some interesting shit that's gone down that I'd like to share with you guys. MH, thank you for the 1212. Had a dream that I had plants growing from my cheek. Oh, I pulled them out and they kept growing back. They were a dark color and had soil at the end. Super weird, right? Also saw hawk and cardinals. That to me says attachment. The plants growing out of your cheeks, that to me says attachment. Do you have any, not to put you on blast, but do you have any restrictions or ailments or emotional blocks regarding communication or even image? Yeah, communication or even image or anything having to do with like the jaw or the mouth or the face or even skin. Let's see. Hey, Allie. I know Allie's in here. Let's see. Any salt recommendations for detoxing? Taking salt baths is great. Carrying salt with you is amazing. Those are the two biggies. Sometimes I even shower with salt. Like I have a salt container in my shower and then I'll get like my shower gel and I'll put some salt in there and I'll rub it and then I'll like do it all over me. Those are the, the good, very quick, easy ways to do cleansings. But yeah, so dealing with paranormal experiences, I've always had them through the course of my life. And as you know, my life has evolved, and as I've evolved, those experiences have evolved. And recently, I've been trying to understand some of the things that have been going on around me. So my patrons know, if you watched the video on Patreon recently, that I got a little weird poltergeist situation I'm trying to get a handle on. I think I got a handle on it for the most part. I think I do. I still feel like it's left behind from someone who used to live here. Even like the previous owner only lives a couple blocks away, so that could like still enable it. So for example, in that Patreon video, I was doing this video and I face my kitchen when I'm doing these videos, and I had made some tea. It's like the little tea top thing, right? Like on the spout. I'd taken it off to pour my water, and I'm talking in the video, and all of a sudden it flew across the kitchen, and you could hear it on the video. And Clyde was actually eating his food, and he was on the other side of the kitchen, so I knew it wasn't him. And I looked at him, and he looked scared shitless. Like it scared the crap out of him, and I was like, "Oh, great." Things like that have been happening, like closing and opening of my cabinets, things like that. That's also not the first time things have like flown in where I'm living. I do feel like it's a poltergeist. I don't feel like it's an entity. I've kicked out the main entity that I was having issues with. So there's that, right? So it's like sometimes that can be unnerving, but I'm also fairly used to having that kind of phenomena or experiencing that. Something that I can't get used to that I think is going on. I think that well, no, okay, I'm gonna take that back. It's not that I can't get used to, it's that I'm trying to figure out what this other thing is. I'm starting to think it's aliens, but I'd also think if they were aliens, they would just confront me head on, but maybe not. Maybe not. My experiences with aliens have been mostly isolated to carrions and mostly isolated to higher dimensions. So it's interesting because I feel like it's happening like very tangibly here in the 3D, where I'll wake up at like 3:30 in the morning. And granted, where I live is very isolated. Like there's no city for like hours, okay? We don't get a whole lot of like, air traffic or anything like that. And this has happened a couple of times where I wake up at like 3:30 in the morning, and I hear like this loud ass craft like going right above like my place. And I'm like, and I sit there and I'm like, it could technically be an airplane or a helicopter. It could be. I was like, but it doesn't make sense that it is. Doesn't make sense at all. And then even today at like 5 o'clock in the morning, I was up. Don't ask me why. My sleep's been all crazy. I was up, and it sounded like this huge sonic boom like hit the house. Like a truck hit the house is exactly what it sounded like. And poor Clyde. Oh, poor Clyde. He was so scared. He didn't know what to do. He was just like running around. Um, oh, excuse me. So there have been things like that. I've also had, excuse me, like weird vibrational energies going through the house. So like to me, I'm starting to think like, okay, maybe these are just straight up aliens. Like maybe they're just straight up, higher dimensional beings. Whether they're trying to interact with me or not is hard to tell. But I'm also trying to figure out how to like, just how to further understand it. Because like the other thing too, guys, like if you are afraid of something, the way to not be afraid of it is to just understand it. Right? If you understand what something is, it takes away a lot of the unknown fear factor of it. And for me, it's like that's something that's bothering me, is that I'm just not sure. The uncertainty is like what kind of like bothers me a little bit. A tall woman power. I love it. So cute. Thank you for the 189. Are they small beings? See, that's the thing. With the noises and stuff I've been hearing, I haven't seen them. So I don't know if they are. The aliens I've encountered have not been small. Oh, except for one race of beings that I've actually never come across in my research, that I saw when I was in the higher dimensions one time. For those of you who go to like the upper dimensions a lot, who are on this kind of track, because not everybody is, everyone's got their own mission, everyone's got their own blueprint of what they need to do, right? So part of what I need to do is around crafts, like aircrafts. I don't know why, but I just know it is. And so I go to these different like flight centers. I don't know what else to call them, but they're in the higher dimensions. They're all with spacecrafts, different kinds of spacecrafts. It's almost like, think of like a mass international airport, but like crafts for like different galactic beings. Think of it like that. So I've seen all kinds of like transient galactic beings, but I don't interact with them. I did see one that they were very tiny, and I'm not gonna lie, something about them were kind of cute. I don't know why, they were just kind of cute. They were so short. It kind of reminded me of the Menehune from Hawaii, like the myths. Hold on, I know I'm missing some super chats here. I'm getting caught up in this story. Bananas? Thank you for the 1111. They're hungry. I fed them and give them coffee, water. Why does that remind me of Gremlins? Were you making a Gremlin reference and I'm too tired to notice? Sorry. Yeah, they were like maybe 3 feet tall-ish. Very big eyes. They were kind of like rectangular, like they weren't very round. Yeah, they were interesting. They were cute. Let's see, tall woman. Thank you for 4.99. I was watched by tiny beings before. They were kind of frightening, but not mean. Is it possible you're living on the portal? See, that's the other thing, right? Where I live, it's kind of like a mass portal where I live. So I also knew that coming into it. So I've been trying to like just take things as they come and write things down so I could just further understand. Like for me, it's just about understanding. I just want to understand what I'm being exposed to, not exposed to, experiencing, not experiencing, that sort of thing. So, like I said, it's very possible a lot of like the noises and stuff at night and like the aircraft noises and things like that, the vibrational frequencies that I'm experiencing, those are most likely multidimensional beings. The poltergeist stuff is definitely a poltergeist. I know that's a poltergeist. I know it is. How do you know the difference between poltergeist and an entity? Poltergeist is usually the shit that throws things. Also, I am a medium. It's not a gift I like to nurture. Um, but I know the difference between a poltergeist and an entity because entities will speak to me. I can sometimes see them, they will communicate with me. A poltergeist, not necessarily. It's like a poltergeist is like a void, like not like a void, no, that's inaccurate. A poltergeist is kind of like a faceless thing, to put it lightly. So for example, if I come across a spirit, I can usually hear them if they talk to me, which most of them want to talk. I can usually get a quick glimpse or an idea of what they look like generally. So it's like that's an entity, that's a spirit. A poltergeist is like you can't really sense it. Like a poltergeist is like some kind of energy is there, but it's like there's no voice to it. There's no like soul to it. It's like it's just energy. It's like a fragmented energy from a person. It's like poltergeists and PK manifestations come from people who have repressed their emotions and shit, and it what's the word, manifests externally, usually coming from people who have abilities, right? So if you're anybody who's had abilities your whole life and you went through puberty, you probably had a poltergeist going on. Your TV was probably turning on and off, things are probably falling off the shelves, things like that. It's very interesting how they get created, and so that's why I'm thinking this has to be a PK, because I experienced an entity that was here. I kicked him out, he's gone. um but this activity was going on, and the fact that it's only movements, like nothing's trying to talk to me. Like that's the biggest indicator to me. Nothing's trying to talk to me. It's just a cabinet's opening and closing. They're just throwing things, and I'm like, okay, that's a poltergeist. Um, and it's just I just gotta get rid. I just gotta get rid of it. That's it. I just gotta get rid of it. Um, for a while, I was trying to figure out if it was just me or if it was someone who used to live here. But the fact that it started right away tells me that it's already been here, and the house kind of has a weird history anyway. Why is it there? I think because someone who lived here had abilities and they never worked on their shit. So that's what happens if you have abilities and you don't work on your shit. You can create a PK manifestation. Not all of you can, but some of you can. And I think that's just what happened. I think they just lived here, never worked on their shit, and it needed to get out, so it found a way to get out. So it just got out. And started like kind of dealing with energy in its own way. Now the problem with PK manifestations, if you ever deal with them, or if you have family members who don't want to deal with them, I actually have a family member who created one that's been around for a long time, and it almost became an entity unto itself. That can happen with a PK manifestation if it's left to its own devices and it still has like a feeding source of like repressed emotion and shit for a long period of time. It can become its own thing in a weird way if it's left like that and not taken care of after a long time. So anyway, I'm not afraid of it. I know what it is. I'm not afraid of it. And it seems like it's not very highly developed either. Like the one of my family member, that was highly developed. That one was a little nerve-wracking. That one was a little nerve-wracking. This doesn't feel that developed. So I'm not worried about it. And that's the thing. It's like again, you take away the fear of the unknown by just understanding something. For those of you who are still, encountering things for the first time, for the most part, I'm just trying to sort out everything I'm experiencing. It's not that I'm afraid. The things that are happening at night make me just uneasy just because I don't understand them fully. That's all. It takes a lot to really scare me. After everything I've seen in my life and everything I've been through, it takes a lot to truly scare me. Like like to be scared or terrified is an emotion or reaction I don't experience often. Probably just because of all the things I've witnessed because of my abilities. Um, but yeah, so that's how I deal with it. If you get scared of something you're experiencing, just try to understand what it is, and you're not going to be that afraid of it anymore. Let's see. I've been woken up by 3 knocks on my roof, and I saw a huge faceless angel the size of my house. Oh my god. It had orange red fire hair. It was awesome. Oh my god, that's quite a visual. You should try to draw that. Let's see. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing this right. Raina? I think it's Raina. Thank you for the $10. Caught you live. Is there a way I can email you about galactic stuff? Oh, galactic scale stuff. Excuse me. This timeline shift is absolutely amazing. Basking in it, crazy stuff, a curious blue avian. Ah, lots of abilities coming. Oh, the bird people, my bird people. Yeah, feel free to email me. I'll be honest. I'm terrible at answering my messages, especially my email, because I get bombarded by a lot of messages all the time. So if I miss it, I greatly apologize. You can always try to hit me up on Instagram. I don't know if you can message me on Patreon without being a patron, but try to hit me up on Instagram if I'm not responding via email. I apologize for everybody who I haven't answered your messages. I just get a lot of them, and it gives me a lot of anxiety. It triggers my social anxiety. Let's see. Let's see. Dreamed I talked to you on the phone. I am in people's dreams a lot. If it starts breaking down the apartment, you'll know it's time to go. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm not. Like I said, it feels very underdeveloped, whatever it is. So I'm like, I'm not worried about it. Venus and Gemini. Yeah, I'm excited to do the energy shift reading today. I wanted to do it yesterday, but I had to take care of me yesterday. I've been doing a lot of like also 3D bullshit stuff, which really drains me. I saw orbs of blue and pink, and one had an angelic fairy form, but it was really small. Oh, that's so cool to see fairies. Yeah, no, not everybody can see fairies. Hold on, let me catch up here. I don't like alien theories because it's a lot of them mentality, but like us mentality. So this seismic origin all as one approach is really cute. Okay. Let's see. I think I had a PK experience the other day before I went to sleep. I felt a lot of pressure at the base of my skull. Then I heard a voice, but it wasn't my spirit, and I felt like I was touched. Ooh. You might have had an experience with an entity. Like, that's the biggest difference. Like, a PK doesn't usually talk because it's an energy left behind by a person. It's not a person. So you probably had an experience with an energy or a spirit. I'm so sorry. My screen's hello? See Mello, thanks for the $4.99. Hi, many vivid dreams have public transport, transfer points as a backdrop for the action. I have lived in cities, most offline, but any other, maybe I'm not reading this right. Wait, many vivid dreams have public transport points as a backdrop for the action. I have lived in cities most of your life, but any other ideas? Oh, are you asking me like why you would be experiencing a lot of this like transport stuff in your dreams? Is that what you're asking me? Sorry, I just want to be very clear. Let's see. Jador, that's cute. Thank you for the $9.99. I see orbs all the time and grew up roaming in other dimensions, but don't know much about myself. Well, as far as like the understanding yourself, I mean, that just takes time, right? That's not something that you can't learn yourself overnight. Some self-exploration there. It'll take time, but you'll get there. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. I'm waiting for her to respond. Hey, WT wrote in. Hi. Can you explain why I have random deep scratches on me, like waking up with them, or them just popping up? Oh, I don't like that. If you don't have an animal and you're having deep scratches, to me that just screams attack. Yeah, and I haven't experienced that myself personally because it is more of a rare occurrence when that happens to people, but that to me is screaming attack. Public transport dreams for most of my life. Oh, did she not answer? I don't think she answered. Oh, no, she hasn't answered yet. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We've just been chit-chatting. Killen, apologizing for my behavior earlier. Something is going on in what you've been experiencing. Okay. Oh, Asa, thank you for the $10. God, it's so my screen only shows like 2 or 3 messages at a time. So if I miss you guys, I'm so sorry. I just keep trying to like get, see if this person responded to the super chat question I asked her. Try changing our bed sheets and buying an air purifier. Yeah, cleansing your home, guys, is really important. And when we cleanse homes, we don't just mean like saging and salting and things like that. We mean actually like washing stuff and like cleaning the floors. Like, it's so important to do that if you have a lot of like bad energy or a lot of crazy energy that comes in and out of your place a lot. So like, for example, I've only been here for a little while, but I clean something every day. If you do the floors, please try to sweep. Sweeping actually moves energy a lot better than just like mopping or vacuuming or something like that. And if you're really kind of old school and you're to leave, sweep east to west if you can. The way that the sun moves, essentially. What else? I like to use like a little homemade like cleaner that cleanses energy, but also works as a cleaner. So you can do like half vinegar, half water. Put a little rosemary in there, lavender oil, and you can put salt in there if you want to. I don't always put the salt in there, but you can if you want to. Don't use too much; just put like a tiny bit. What else? Yeah, and honestly, just washing things. And when I wash my stuff, I always put a little vinegar in the washer machine. It's also like a little trick Hawaiians like to use for their laundry. It's actually really good at getting a lot of crap out. But yeah, you need to like cleanse your home. And by cleansing, I don't mean just saging, like actually cleaning it. Like actually cleaning it helps get rid of energy. Oh my God, that is my weakness. That's part of my purge. I've been depressed and haven't been cleaning my home, always at work, never home. And I know it's hard, it's like, I know sometimes it's hard for that. Like, especially if you work a lot, it's like, and you still need energy to clean. Sometimes it could be hard. I know, I totally get it. But it is important, especially if you experience negative energies or attacks or things like that. Let's see. 4 Thieves vinegar floor wash for the win. Yeah, vinegar is amazing. Honestly, white vinegar, especially white vinegar specifically, very amazing. I'm nuts with cleaning. I use sage in my mixtures. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, you can definitely do that. You guys, you can get very creative with your own little home cleanser cleaners. You can get very creative with it. One time I was sitting on the toilet doing my business and felt a burning sensation on my thigh. I looked down and saw a little handprint. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, that's invasive. That is invasive. And guys, that's the other thing too. When it comes to stuff invading your home, you just command it to leave. That's at the end of the day, you just command that shit to leave because it is your space. And if you command them to leave, it's like, it's very clear. It's like they should not be crossing that boundary. Most things will just go away if you just command them to leave. Let's see. I love cleaning. Virgo rising. Every Saturday is my big clean day. Oh yeah, my mom has strong Virgo in her chart, so I've definitely been raised around that. I love you, Mom. I have to sweep every day. I do it with the intention of clearing out negative energy. I always clean with that intention. It helps. Afterwards, you bring out the diffuser with healing oils and the sage. Hell yeah, there you go. There you go. And I know this is time-consuming stuff, guys. I know it is, but it is very helpful to do. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up here. Merging Spirit, thank you for the $9.99. I also keep seeing in my mind, fear is the enemy. Yes. One love. Thanks for all you do. Holding on to the light. Oh, thank you. That's a very sweet message. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Like fear is a very strong, powerful, like little emotion there that can really take you off course in a lot of ways. Raina, thanks for the $5. Discovered my star system was destroyed. Oh, and I am in Image Setter. Sorry, I'm like, it's hard for me to read this stuff. To create it with my soul family to restructure it. Also sent you some Reiki this AM. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I forgot to sleep with my crystals last night, which I almost never do. I almost never forget that. I even woke up and I was like, where are my crystals? Where are my crystals? Sometimes I'm bad about that when I take a bath. Sometimes I forget to put them back on. Excuse me. Let's see. Okay, all right, we are caught up. We are caught up here. We've been hanging out for a while. I'm probably not going to stay too much longer. I do have to get my energy right to do the energy shift reading, and then I'm going to try to go and find that place today. I'm going to try, but try to do it safely. And of course, for the big conjunct today, I would try to sit yourself down and have some time with it, some time with yourself, and set your intentions for that and what you want to do with it. Keep in mind, this is a conjunction about um, getting rid of some old habits of yours, like habits that have been really hard to break, the changes you want to make with yourself, and also what you want to be successful with and what projects you really want to invest in. This is one of the reasons I said for the beginning of this new moon cycle when I did the new moon live on it, to set your intention for the rest of 2020, because this is the first, um, excuse me, this is the first conjunct of Jupiter or Pluto that's going to happen out of 3 times for the rest of 2020. And we were in a new moon cycle when this energy is going to be affecting us, the first one anyway. So that's why I was saying for the new moon that we just, we're still kind of in for a little while, to really set your intention for 2020, not just for that particular time period. Haley, thanks for the $2. I'm sorry, I keep missing stuff. Where did it go? Tarawate. Oh, that's a cute name. Thanks for the $13.99. What about mirroring? I leave cards down and they flip over the opposite way. Ooh, mirror reality. Sometimes my guides will mess with my cards to like get certain messages to me. And it's weird. I was trying to do a reading. I forget how long ago it was. Maybe it was like a week ago or so. And every time I flipped, I prepared my cards beforehand. And as I was preparing my cards, every time I put them down, they'd flip. And I put them down and they'd spin and flip. And I put them down and they'd spin and flip. And that was the first time I encountered that specifically. I don't know how I feel about mirror realities. I haven't spent enough time thinking about it to really have an opinion. And I'll be honest with you guys, there's a lot of different topics out there that I want to learn about or I want to talk about, but there's also a lot that I've never touched on, right? So if I haven't spent time thinking about a topic, I'm not going to try to talk about it because I haven't spent time thinking about it, right? I haven't spent enough time thinking about like any information to give you or like my 2 cents to give. So I haven't spent time thinking about mirror realities. I mean, mirror realities to me, if I just sit down right now and thinking about it, a mirror reality, there are all kinds of different timelines that get created based off of choices we make. Any one of those you could call a mirror reality just because a different decision is made, like a flip of that, right? So yeah, I would think if mirror realities are a thing, it would really just be another classification of a different kind of timeline that was created based off of mirror choices. Yeah, that's what I want to say with that. But like I said, I haven't spent time thinking about it except for just right now. But that's my 2 cents just thinking about it. That yes, they're possible, but it's just another timeline that just gets created just because there is always going to be a timeline or reality that's created because you're making somewhere, there's a version of you making a decision that is mirrored to the decision you just made. So it's just like one branch timeline, all the of based off of, compared to all the other realities that were created based off decisions that were made. Let's see. Romanita, thanks for the $10. The last April reading for Pisces on Patreon had a very loud crash that scared you and Clyde. Oh, did you ever figure out what it was? Oh, no, I did not. Thank you. I totally forgot about that. So speaking of all the craziness that's been going on in my living space, yeah, I completely forgot about that. It was loud, right, Romanita? It was really loud. And I took the time, I was like recording live. And so I was like, all right, well, let me go figure out what the hell that was. Because it sounded big. It sounded like a whole shelf like fell over or something like that. Nothing was out of place. So again, to me, that just says poltergeist. Let's see. Haley, thank you for the $2. Ooh, so many messages. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to catch up. Michelle, thanks for the 1010. Been seeing 1010 for a bit, although with all my synchronicities, I feel like I'm on the network. Well, you are. You most definitely are. Okay, I'm going down to the bottom here. How do you feel about tarot readers quitting and being targeted? Well, I mean, I even told you guys like a while back, my guides told me very specifically that it's like, it's not really necessary anymore. It's not necessary. And I was also seeing how people were reacting to tarot readings, like mine specifically. And I can only just tell you based off my own experience, like my opinion of it. Like there were a lot of reasons I stopped doing it. One, my guides told me to. Another, the reactions I was getting from people didn't make me feel good about it anymore. There were some people that were like, they were just happy to watch and all of that. But there were some people who literally, if I didn't post a video, if I posted it the next day or whatever, even if I posted videos that day, it was like, I'm gonna die without your readings. I really need your readings. It just seemed so like I didn't like that energy. And to be honest, guys, like doing tarot readings, and it's not a judgment, I'm just telling you guys my experience. It started to feel very vampiric from the collective when I was doing readings. Even if I wasn't doing them, I could feel the collective like, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Why isn't she doing my reading? I need my reading. 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 And it's like when I stopped doing it, it was like, whew, it was that big release. And I was like, oh yeah, it became vampiric. It became this vampiric kind of dynamic. And I'm not saying everybody was in that. I'm saying it's like it was enough to be that much of an impact. And so that is one of the reasons I stopped doing it. It's like the codependency I was sensing from some people, again, not everybody, was just too much. And I'm not going to enable that. I'm not going to feed that. And it's not healthy for me either to be a reader who's experiencing that. It's just not. Sorry, do you see like my See, this is what I mean by like I've spent so much of my life in that social programming of like don't lean into that like very blunt side because it's not socially acceptable, but fuck it. Like it just was and it's not healthy for me and it wasn't. So I stopped and my guides made it clear it wasn't necessary anymore. And people still harass me for them. People will still be in my comments harassing me to do readings. I had one person and I was like I'm not gonna lie, like a little low vibrational part of me came up and I was like, no. Like I checked myself. I was like, no, 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 no. That's low vibrational. Don't do that. She praised me and berated me in the same statement, in the same breath. It was like, what did she say? She said something along the lines of like, it was really harsh too. She was using like really harsh language about how appalled or disgusted she was that I wasn't doing readings anymore. And oh, and I was such a big fan, and you've just lost a big fan. And then she ended it with the collective needed me. It was like, what is it you want? Do you even know what you fucking want? Anyway, bringing it back. Sorry, guys. Sorry. The glam bite. Thanks for the 4.99 love and light. So thank you. Thank you. It was really sweet of you. So what is my opinion about all of that? I do think that there is a certain people that can become very vampiric with it, with receiving readings, and then at the end, as a result, the reader can be subject to that kind of energy and that kind of dynamic, not healthy for the reader at all. But I do think there's a group of people who like see it for what it is and see it for the guidance that it can bring, and see it use it in a healthy way. I do think that there are those people. I think a lot of you are those people. But to quit it, I don't think is a bad idea. I don't like. I think in times right now, it's like most of us who are fairly awake or on board don't really need that anymore. And it's like, is there really such a thing as needing them either? Right? Not really. They're helpful. They are helpful, but to need, I think is starting to border into that like kind of unhealthy realm a little bit, right? So I don't see, yeah. So I think readers quitting just makes total sense. Makes total sense. But as far as like, I think when you mentioned in that same breath, about being attacked or being targeted. So I thought that was interesting because I know that's happened to a few readers. I know it has. And it's unfortunate when it happens. And even for me, I felt like for a little while that was kind of happening a little bit, not in an extreme way at all. Not in an extreme way at all. And yeah, it can happen. Right. Obviously, we've seen it happen with Mana. We saw that happen. I know Angelic Guidance has been talking about that recently too. I know Spiritual OG went through that. And it's unfortunate that it happens, but it does happen, right? And I don't think it's any fault of the reader whatsoever. I think it just comes with the job of being very good at your job and being very much a beacon of light and being very radiant in your power. Like when you're really powerful, it's hard to not see it. Right? It's hard for people to not see it and try to figure out a way in or like suss a way in. But yeah, I don't think quitting I don't think quitting is a strange thing right now. I really don't. Especially with YouTube, because YouTube has been infiltrated the way Facebook was infiltrated. You know what I mean? And I felt that shift too. I felt that shift happen once 2020 came online. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, oh, YouTube is different. I was like, oh, maybe this is another reason why my guides didn't want me to do readings anymore, because YouTube has now been very much infiltrated by these like gross parasitic energies, the way Facebook has been so overtaken by that. Like Facebook, I don't even think about I know I have a Facebook page. I haven't posted anything there in a long time. I don't even want to touch it, to be honest with you. I think I should just delete it actually at this point. And I wouldn't be surprised if Instagram turns into that too at a certain point. But yeah, YouTube is very infiltrated, very infiltrated. So yeah, so that's my 2 cents on tarot readers quitting tarot on YouTube and people getting, targeted. Let's see, deactivated mine. It just validates their gifts. That's a nice way to look at it. I like that. I'm back on it now, but I'm on it now. It's real. Oh yeah, it's very real. Been trying to listen, only read the comments. Wow. Thank you for sharing your gift. You resonate so much on earth sign crystal readings. Well, Missy, that's the other thing too. It's like I haven't even completely stopped doing tarot, obviously. Right? I haven't completely stopped. And I do think that there's a time and a place for it. And so, for some people, like I talked about this with other light workers where it's like they felt like doing readings opened the window for them to ascend, like to not open the window for them to ascend, but like help them in their process in order to get to a point where they could start to open doors into other avenues of other fields. And I kind of feel that way too. I feel like I was led to it for that reason. I feel like I was led to it to not only understand my abilities, but to fall down the rabbit hole, to meet certain people, and to create a platform where I get to touch people and help people in this way, but also to once I get to a certain point, to take that and go and create something else for the people that I'm touching, right? And I think that's part of the purpose of it, to be honest with you, for a lot of light workers. But so yeah, and technically I still do it. It's not that I've completely stopped either. I've just really cut back. Like doing those sign readings, it took a lot of my energy and it just created a pathway for people to be very invasive with my energy. I think I said this on Patreon and I think I need to say it here too. All the emails that I get about you guys literally telling me that you're tapping into my energy to tell me things about myself, I think that's very invasive and I think that's very rude. And I really suggest you don't do that to me or anyone else, honestly, because that tells me that you intentionally try to invade my space to tell me something about myself. Like, don't do that. That shit ain't cool. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's see. Tarot cards tell me to strengthen my psychic abilities. Yeah, exactly. It's like I feel like it serves a purpose for a certain period of time, you know? Let's see. Bad boundaries. And I get it, like you were probably doing it from a place of love. You probably thought it was like, let me try to like help this person who helps me. I get that it comes from good intentions, but that's invasive. And that's part of the vampiric energy that like I'm talking about, where it's not just about I need her to do my reading, I need her to do my reading, but now it's like you want to tap into me to what? To tell me things about myself that you think I don't know. I'm very aware of myself. Thank you. That's like a spiritual breaking and entering. Yeah. Why are tarot readers deleting their accounts? Yeah, honestly, I think that's just what it is. It's like it served a purpose. And we're also in a time where we're shifting into a new paradigm where people really need to start getting to their specific station, right? And not to say that tarot reading is not like someone's purpose or path. Like obviously it's part of my path. It's part of a lot of people's paths. But that's just what it is. I feel like it's an aid to get to a certain point to be able to do something else that you are more meant to do. It helps us to get in touch with people that we should get in touch with, meet people and create a community of like-minded people, spiritual people, and it helps to wake people up, and there are other like avenues of that. It's not just tarot readings. It's also the community of Reiki, right? Also the community of people who like to channel, people who like to go down like the shamanic routes and shamanic communities. Like there are all kinds of ways of doing it. Tarot is just one processing route. We'll just say it's a processing route. Yeah, so I don't think it's a bad thing. It just happens. It's just needed. And there are new people who are doing tarot cards now who are in that and starting their processing phase. So it's like we see that. Yeah, so that's all it is, guys. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just a very natural and necessary thing. That's all it is. Your positive talks are what I enjoy most. So even if you don't oopsie, where'd it go? So if you don't do the tarot, you're awesome in general. Oh my God. And have a lot of great information. Thank you, Just Me. That's very encouraging and very supportive of you to say. Thank you. Angelic guidance dropped the tarot cards. Oh, excuse me. And she was guided that this is not needed anymore. Yeah, it's outdated and old spiritual tools. New spiritual tools are coming out. Oh yeah, guys, there's also a lot of like spiritual technology that's being, well, how do I say this? Being channeled and created right now. I'll say it that way. Being channeled and created right now. So yeah, that's exciting shit too. And a lot of us are needing to go down that route too. You know what I mean? So it's just, that's why it's happening. It's not for any bad reason. It's not for any parasitic reason. It's literally just what needs to happen and what needs to get done. You moved in some time. There was an earthquake here in California. I live in San Diego, 4.6. I'm glad it was just a 4.6. Um, yeah, the whole earthquake thing. It has been nice to not have to think about earthquakes just because of my anxiety with them. But 4.6, that's sizable, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I pray that it doesn't hit like a 6 magnitude or more. I just pray that it doesn't for anybody out there. Um, People are waking up now, and light workers and star seeds are being guided to move in a different direction. Oh yeah, totally, absolutely. And when it comes to that, guys, you just got to go with the flow. You just got to go with the flow. Um, yeah. I mean, you can try to resist it and try to hold on to things that, you want to stay forever, but nothing stays forever, you know? And that's the other thing too. It's like change is very natural. Change is very needed, right? And if you don't have change, it's like, how can you grow? How can you progress if you have no change going on? So I know a lot of people don't like change, but guys, that is the big benefit of change. It's to have progress. I don't think I could have a life where things stayed the same or certain aspects even stayed the same. I really like change, and maybe it's because I'm a Scorpio. It probably is what it is. It's probably because I'm a Scorpio. But I like change. I like it a lot. I get excited when change is coming. It's like, oh, something new, something could happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. That brings in surprises because you just never know. And yeah, sometimes change can be hard. Sometimes change can be hard, but it's exciting. It's exciting. And that's why I'm excited about the times that we're in, because I know a lot of cool shit is going to come of it. Oh, on that note, since we're all here, because I know it's like we're like an hour in. I don't think most people are going to stay an hour after I post this and they go watch it later. Bella, thank you for the $5. I'm 18, been going through awakening for a little over a year now. I feel intense pressure to follow my purpose, but it's terrifying. Oh, excuse me. Any advice? Well, talking about fear really quick, and then I'll talk about the thing I got excited to talk about. So when it comes to fear, I was saying earlier, like fear is very crippling, and fear is what will take us off our path very quickly, like no other. When it comes to fear and handling it, it's good to understand where it's coming from. Like, what is it that you're actually afraid of? What is it that's actually triggering your fear? It could take some time to figure this out. You might have to take some time by yourself, meditate, write in journals, explore yourself, have very, very, very honest conversations with yourself, which is not easy to do for most people, but it can be done. Take this time to figure it out, because it will start to come to you what your fear actually is. Even if you got to write it out like that. That's how I like to do it. If you ever watch the shadow work video, the first Balmy Spirit episode, I think that's a great tool actually for exploring that. Get a journal, whatever medium you want to do. You don't have to do journal. You can do like, voice recordings or videos. You can do whatever you want. Get a journal and literally start writing what it is that you're scared of. Like I want to do this, but I'm terrified. Okay, I'm terrified. What am I actually terrified of? Like, what are the things about pursuing it that scare me? Is it that I have to move? Is it that I have to meet new people? Is it that I have to give something up? Is it that I have to just start exploring within yourself, having that, as if you're talking to yourself, you're really talking with your higher self when you're doing this, and start listing the reasons why. And once you start listing the reasons why, and you got a good enough list as to what those fears are, what's really scaring you about this, what are the things you don't want to give up or change or whatever, what have you, then you can dig deep into where that's actually coming from. And you'll find that it's probably from wounding of some kind, or it's probably from social programming of some kind. And it's going to take some time to work through that. But that's also what I was saying. It's like, that's how you take the fear out of a situation. You just understand it. And in a situation like this, you're just trying to understand yourself. So as you start to go through that, you'll start to realize that fear is going to start to dissipate. And also, it's really good to be aware of what can come of it by pursuing it. What could come of pursuing your path? What are the great things that you can come into that you would never get otherwise? It's just a sit down exploration process with yourself, and you will work through that and you will figure it out. But you just got to be patient with yourself on that. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. If that wasn't helpful, I definitely suggest checking out the shadow work video. That's going to help you a lot, I think, if that didn't help. But yeah, the thing that I really want to mention to you guys about the times that we're in. So these last few months, we're now in April, have been a weird, how do I say this? Like a weird buildup into this phase that we're in of the reset. I'm calling it the reset. Some people are calling it the awakening. Some people are calling it the ascension. those are very valid terms for what we're going through. I'm calling it a reset because it's interesting. It's like I can almost see all sides of the story, like all sides of like what people are trying to do in this time and what's like trying to happen cosmically. It's like it's a weird thing. So I'm calling it the reset because the 1% parasitic people are trying to reset the economy. They're trying to reset currency with everything that's going on, and it is highly manipulated. Okay. This is the first phase of it. And then in July, just purely based off astrology and some of the downloads I've gotten, July is going to be the second phase. And then in fall, somewhere between like maybe I keep wanting to say October, November, but then I get pulled to September for some reason. So maybe it's really September, but I feel more October, November is going to be the third phase of it, of trying to reset the economy, reset the currency, and what that. And to be honest with you, if we're not prepared for that, there is going to be some fallout with certain socioeconomic status individuals, depending on what country you're in, obviously. But that's basically what the parasites are trying to do. They're trying to reset the economy in order to get like a regain of the footing on control of the population after they've already fucked up this economy. Like it's kind of like, oh shit, we fucked up this economy too much. We kind of need a new setup here. So that's basically what's going on from for the parasites' point of view. What they're not realizing is that they're leaving this window of opportunity for a new paradigm to come up over them, which is what I think is happening cosmically, where it's allowing this space for people to wake up, not just to wake up, but to also follow their path and get in touch with other people who are awakened and to start literally creating the paradigm, the reality that they want to live in, that really should be present, that really should be here, which is more of a lateral kind of society, economy. I almost don't want to use the word economy. I feel like that's a very human word. But way of being, very lateral, right? Where it's like we all contribute and we all take care of ourselves, sort of a thing. There's no like 1% hierarchy, top down bullshit. It's creating the space for this to actually happen. So it's actually leaving I'll say the parasitic paradigm vulnerable to losing total control. And I think that's what they're not accounting for. So it's really interesting to see how it's all kind of coming into play, where it's like I'm seeing the different players and how they're all affected and what the intentions are of the players. And I'm like, oh, this is how it's going to go down. And it will come down to free will, right? If people get their shit together and do whatever it is they're supposed to be doing and they're prepared for all scenarios, there's going to be a time where the new paradigm can be built up enough, right? So it's like as the old paradigm's coming down, the new paradigm's coming up enough to where at some point there's going to be a flipping and someone's going to regain power. Someone's going to regain the control. Now, whatever is going to happen as a result of that is totally up to free will and the choices made by the people who are supposed to be doing this, right? Who are supposed to be involved in this. So yeah, if people don't get their shit together and people don't get out of fear, parasites could totally pull it off. They totally could. If people get their shit together and they get out of fear and they create and they build and we all work towards like a lateral way of being, which when they start to reset the economy and then people have like nothing, oh, I've been thinking about you, the person who just texted me. I don't know if she's watching or not, but I've been thinking about you. That's the other thing. When the economy gets reset and currency gets reset, the people who aren't prepared for it, they're going to lose everything. They will lose everything. And it's going to be a lot of people. It's like, are they really not counting on people getting so desperate and realizing that they have nothing to lose that they just will band with the other people and nothing to lose? And I talked about this with someone earlier, and they were basically saying, well, like when people get desperate, they just like they lash out at each other if they have scarcity mindset, right? But people are waking up. So the real question is, do we have enough people waking up in all areas of life that when the shit hits the fan and people lose everything, that will we have enough people awake who have lost everything to band together or to rip each other apart? That's really going to be the key. So if enough people have woken up in the group of people who lose everything, they will most likely band together and start to work more towards this lateral paradigm, and that is going to be the key to success for that. However, if not enough people wake up and they lose everything, parasites could totally win this. So interesting times we're living in. But these are when the 3 phases are going to be happening. So we're in phase 1. Phase 2 is going to hit July. Phase 3 is going to hit in fall. I really feel like October, November, but I'm hearing September. So it could be September. So yeah, it's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting. And as far as your money is concerned, definitely try to diversify it. Do not rely on the dollar. I'm gonna say that again. Do not rely on the dollar. Okay. Okay. But yeah, guys, it's gonna get crazy. But I really wanted to like let that, say that to you guys, let that out there a little bit. Hopefully I don't get snatched up by, some governmental agencies or whatever for saying that. Very true. That's why getting out of big city ASAP. China's about to snatch everything up. Yeah, China and the US are in a big FU sort of race right now for the reset of economy. And don't get me wrong, guys, the reset of the economy, it's a global thing. There are people globally who are in on this, and governments. Okay. And there are a little bit of like FU races kind of going on with this. So Kim, thank you for the 199. Something is moving here in Europe big time. I'm 44 today. Oh, happy birthday, Josie. Happy birthday. Cryptocurrency. Yes, definitely cryptocurrency. Definitely cryptocurrency, guys. Do not rely on your dollar. Do not rely on the dollar. Okay. Can't say that enough. Definitely invest in cryptocurrency if you haven't. Definitely do it. Definitely do it. I don't think cryptocurrency is going to be like the forever currency. I definitely don't think that. I think it's gonna be transient. I think it's just gonna be a way to shift from this old economy to a newer economy. And it's gonna probably be the currency until the flip happens and establishes what the new order or way of being is gonna be. And then once that's in place, then I think it will be transitioned into something else. But yeah, I think cryptocurrency is going to be the why can't I speak? The middle currency. What a crazy time to be alive in. I know. Please do reading for Capricorn. We talked about this. We talked about that. You practice manifestation. I do. And it's interesting because there are all kinds of ways for people to manifest. I manifest by kind of just stepping into things. Sometimes I do rituals. I used to do rituals more so back in like 2018, 2019. But now the way I manifest, like I just see it and I just step into it. I know how that sounds. It's hard to explain. If I decide I want something, I just want it. And I just go for it and I try to make it happen. That's honestly how you manifest. And I had this huge discussion I forget when. I had this huge discussion about it when it comes to manifestation. It's like anytime manifestation is not working out the way you want to, or you're struggling with it, you either have some blocks there, some like emotional blocks, or some fear or anxiety, or your higher self is telling you it's probably not a good idea. That's usually why a manifestation gets hard or difficult. Because if you truly want something, there really should be no reason for you to make it happen or to pursue it. If you really truly want something, and like I said, unless you got some woundings or blocks that are getting in the way of that or causing fear or anxiety within yourself and pulling you away from that. Otherwise, if you want something, why aren't you pursuing it? Right? And that's what manifestation is. It's like you want something, you just act like you have it, you act like you're gonna do it, and then you just start to do it. You just start putting energy into it. And if you stop yourself, or you don't feel confident in it, or you have some blocks coming up or fear, then that's something you have to work through that's not allowing your manifestation to come in, or your higher self is trying to give you a hint like, this might not be the greatest thing you want to manifest for yourself. That's it. Your advice is great. Most people just say meditate. Oh. Yeah, that's become my understanding of manifestation, Yeah, that's become my understanding of manifestation. And it's interesting too, because it's like, for those who follow me on Patreon, who understand my galactic origins in the grand scheme of things, it made so much sense, right? For my patrons who understand. I don't like to advertise it here on YouTube because, like I said, YouTube's been infiltrated. I don't like to advertise that stuff. But with the galactic origins that I have and what I've been through, galactically speaking, it makes so much sense. It's like, and I've always kind of, even through the course of my life, even if I had trouble manifesting because of blocks that came up, I still had this mentality of it just has to happen. There is no failure. There is no option B. Like, it just has to happen. With when I thought about things that I wanted to create or wanted to go after, that's always been my mentality. But yeah, sometimes it hadn't worked out because I had my own issues or my own blocks or fear that I hadn't worked through yet. But that's always been my mentality. It just has to happen. That's it. Like failure? What's that? No, there is no failure in this situation because that just is not an option. Like that's just literally how my brain has just kind of always been. But it made so much more sense after I realized, galactically speaking, who I am. And I was like, oh, that's why. Because I didn't have options. That's why. Jadora, thanks for 299. How did you discover your galactic origins? So I've been asked that a lot. Didn't I say I was gonna go? And here I am, just like blah 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 blah. So how did I discover this? This was honestly not something that I. How do I say this? I was shown who I was. I'll put it that way. I was shown who I was. It wasn't like I did a ritual. It wasn't like I was doing all this like work and emphasis and energy, like work trying to make it happen. It literally was just shown to me in phases. And that's the other thing too. Depending on what kind of galactic being you are, some of you got to be eased into it. I had to be eased into it. And like even until recently, it's been hard for me to totally accept it. Because it's like, what? But I'm owning it a lot more. I think especially just because all the space I have right now. Like I said, even with like my bluntness thing, it's like it's really allowed me to just kind of lean into it. Um, but yeah, I was shown over months what I am, who I am. So it started with my experiences with the royals. It started there, and all of this was in the higher dimensions at first. At first, it was in the higher dimensions. My experiences with the royals, and then I started to see carrions, and I started to realize I was only seeing carrions. And again, this is over the course of months, and so I actually started trying to draw the different carrions that I've seen. And it's interesting because the carrion depictions I've seen online are almost nothing of what I've actually seen myself. And I know carrions come in all kinds of different aesthetics and colors and things like that. So, very like when it comes to carrions, I mean, just think of birds. Like the variety of birds in their colors and shapes and sizes are amazing and staggering. Same goes for the carrion race. Anyway, I'm digressing. Um, and then I got to a point where I had this mind blowing experience with a couple light workers. You guys know about that experience. And I literally just saw my higher self. I just saw it. And it was like, oh shit. That was a big oh shit moment. Like I actually saw my higher self. And when you see your higher self, it's like that is just who you are, right? That's who you are. And I'm this big eagle phoenix like bird. And I was like, oh, I get it. I get it now. And then even after that, I still had some revelations coming in about specifically, even more than that, who I am. And then that goes into the realm of the things I don't like to advertise on YouTube. So my patrons know what I'm talking about. So yeah, it was shown to me. It's not like I sat there and I was like, tell me who I am. Like, no, it was very much decided like, okay, she's ready to find out. Let's ease her into this because she's gonna have to be eased into this, sort of a thing. But some people find out right away. Some people don't have this whole long drawn out process of getting, shown who they are in that way. So it's just different for everybody. Hey, Roden, during meditation the other week, my guides brought to my attention there was really intense energy in my palms. Do you know what this could be? It's energy. Palms and hands are basically think of like export points for energy. Hands are very powerful. That's how I think about it. Like they're export points for energy. So if you're ascending, or if you've just done a lot of energy work, or you've just gotten like bombarded with a lot of messages, or even if you wake up, like you can always do this when you wake up. And you wake up and you come out of like a really intense higher dimensional experience, you'll probably feel the palms of your hands like vibrating, reverberating. Sometimes they'll actually be red. But that's all it is. It's like that's literally where energy likes to come out of your hands. That's why when you do Reiki, you use your hands. That's why when you do healing work, you're using your hands a lot. The hands are very powerful with transmitting energy. Julie, thanks for the 999. Roden, you're such a role model. Oh my God, I don't think I've ever been called that. For the collective and lightworker community, thank you for everything. Side note, I sent something to your website email. If you ever have some time to look, namaste. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so apologize that I'm terrible at like the message thing. I'm so sorry. I know it's one of my flaws. And you know what it is? I think it's because it's a 3D thing. I think that's what it is. I think that's why it triggers my anxiety. Oh, excuse me. To like look at emails and messages, it just takes me to that place, and I just like it's so hard for me to do. I'm so sorry. It's the same thing with like my bills and shit. Like it's so hard for me to actually look, and it's not because it's like a money thing. It's like it's a 3D thing, and it messes with me. I'm so sorry. That's so funny. My website email. I need to update my website. So try to email me. And if I don't answer, try to hit me up on Instagram. And again, I apologize if I do not respond. I am just terrible at it. I just know myself and I am just terrible at it. So I apologize. Julie, thanks for the 199. Girl, same. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what it is. No, I know what it is. It's because I'm not three-dimensional. It's like I can't stand being in this dimension. That's exactly what it is. I can't stand being in this dimension and all the crap that comes with it. Like paperwork and taxes and all that bullshit. And it's like even setting up utilities and internet, why is it such a rigmarole? Why do I have to talk to like three different people, give you my information over the phone? Oh, and then I have to go online and set up my account. But then if I go online and it's not working, I have to call you back and give you my account number and all this crap all over again. And then if you want to pay anything, you have to do it on auto pay, but you have to have your account set up first. Like what the like it's just like it's nonsensical. It's like nonsensical, exhausting bullshit. It's exhausting bullshit is what it is. Yeah, it's exhausting. Uh when I switched my excuse me, when I switched my renter's insurance, I just have to rant about this a little bit and maybe you guys will find some humor in it. I just laugh at it now. When I had to switch my renter's insurance, the woman was so hard to listen to. It just, just total asleep, right? Total asleep human being with so much rage and anger and just like has like such an inability to even hear anybody. She was practically berating me because it's like one of those people who just like yells instead of talks. They think they're always yelling and they don't realize they're yelling, like one of those. So it's like very intolerable energy to deal with. Anyway, she kept trying to tell me that like if I was switching my renter's insurance, I had to switch the car insurance with it in order to save money. And I told her, I was like, well, I'm coming from a state where it's the most expensive. Either way, it's going to be cheaper. And she didn't want to hear me. She just was cutting me off. She's like, well, you have to do it. You have to do it in a bundle. You have to do it in a bundle. You have to do it in a bundle. And I wasn't ready to switch it over because I wanted to see if I wanted a different company for my car insurance. And she wasn't listening to me. And it just went on and on and on until finally I was like, fine, how about you just run the numbers and then tell me what it is since you're not letting this go. Like she wasn't letting it go. I should have hung up the phone. Lesson learned. I should have just hung up the phone. But I don't like to be rude like that. So after 30 minutes of my time being on the phone with this woman, running the numbers, she tells me the prices. And I was like, there's no difference. But don't you see? Don't you see? Don't you see? And I was like, no, I don't see. And she's like, it's a $20 difference. And I was like, so you just wasted 30 minutes of my time for $20. I just like, oh my God, I became infuriated. And I said, no, I'm not doing it in a bundle. Just give me the fucking renter's insurance and I need to go. Like, cause that needs to get done now. It's like, you wasted so much of my time for $20. Really? Over the course of a year, I would have saved $20. What? Like, what? Talk about scarcity mindset. She's like, yeah, but it's $20. I was like, over the course of a fucking year, that's like fractions of a penny every day. Like, that's like scarcity mindset to the max. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just couldn't help it. I had to rant about that a little bit. I just laugh back at it now. You just gotta laugh at that shit, right? Because it's just like, wow. I can't imagine, like, I can't imagine, like, having that kind of mentality or energy, right? Let's see, what do we need to do to deal with those people? Yeah, I'm like, do we have to continue to deal with these kind of people? Like, and see, that's the thing. That's why I'm not like very three-dimensional. Like, I can't handle three-dimensional stuff like this. It makes me insane, like instantly. Like, you don't want to see me talk to customer service people. I'm always respectful. But I lose it very quickly just out of like the sheer intolerance of that, or like the people who get scripts. Right. And I get it. They like to outsource their people because it saves them money and it also gives people jobs. I get it. I totally get it. Like why it can be a benefit for many reasons. But like usually if I'm calling, it's not like a fixable problem or something that's easy to fix. Anyway, let's get off this topic. I don't know how I even got there. I'm so sorry. Guys. Let's see. Have respect for those people who have brains and are very logical. Like they need to respect us creative people. Well, and I get it. Like they serve a purpose. I get it. I totally understand. I just like, so again, it's hard for me to look at emails and messages. And that's why I can't deal with three-dimensional stuff. I can't. Like, I just become incapable and like agitated. It's so hard for me. So if I don't answer your message, I'm so sorry. I know that it's like, I know you guys are messaging me in a very authentic way, and like, you want to share information with me, or you just want to have like a nice rapport. And I do like that a lot. And it means a lot to me that you guys would appreciate me so much that you'd want to talk to me like that. But yeah, the three-dimensional stuff, I like it, it puts me in a weird space. I can't. Like same, I avoid 3D-ish till the last minute always. Yeah, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, okay, one thing a day. Especially when you move, you have to do it a lot, right? So I'm like, okay, just one thing a day, just one item on the list at a time. Um, and so I always felt I didn't belong in this world. Should I explore other dimensions? How? Um, sorry. I'm just thinking back to all those crazy conversations. Um, so exploring other dimensions. When you raise your frequency to a certain point, it gets easier to access dimensions, right? It's like it's a baby steps. It's a process, right? It's one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. Not everyone will do it, and most people who are awake will. Most people who have ascended will. It's actually more rare that I come across people who can't do it or haven't been able to do it. Um, but yeah, once you raise your frequency to a certain point, when you go to sleep, I actually would set the intention and tell your guides that you want to, first and foremost, that you actually really want to. And you feel like you can get a lot out of it, and to not only allow you to have those experiences, but to also remember it. The memory wiping sometimes can get annoying. And that you want to remember it. You can also practice astraling. I don't like to recommend people practicing it, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, I don't like to recommend people doing it because with astraling, like sometimes that's what sleep paralysis is. Sometimes sleep paralysis is like you're astraling, but you're glitching on it. Like you're trying to astral, but something's not going right with it. Like it's not a smooth transition. So sometimes if you're just getting into the ability to astral, you can have a lot of sleep paralysis episodes, and they're not fun. They're not. So that's why I don't recommend people try to do it or try to get themselves to do it, because if you're meant to, you'll do it, right? Um, but definitely focus a lot on your meditation, because meditation is a good access point into raising your frequency to be able to go to the other dimension. So this is where I would actually recommend meditating is a good starting point for this, and definitely telling your guides that you want it, that you do want to go to the other dimensions, you do want to experience it, and that you want to remember it. Telling them that you want to do something, usually they're more likely to oblige, because they're like, oh, they actually want to do it. All right, let's help them do it. They want you to explore these things, and if you tell them you want it, you're more likely to have it happen. Mm. Why do you not recommend astraling? For the reasons I just said. For the reasons I just said. How do you go about finding light workers, and how do you feel about mentors? It's like, it's funny you say that. The light workers that have come in and out of my life happen in such a way that it just was like, it just had to happen. Like, I know another way. Well, it's just very cosmic. Um, like, for example, someone who I consider to be quite a bit of a mentor, the way she came in my life, it actually was through messaging. And like I just said, I hate messaging. I hate that shit. But I was really feeling really sorry for myself, and I had a lot of time. Um, hey, Alessandro. Um, sorry, that's just oh, that just caught me off guard. Sorry, like that totally distracted me. I probably no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it on the live. I'm not gonna say it on the live. It's just the name of someone who is very significant in my life. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say who. Anyway, um, what was it? That's just so distracting me. What was I talking about? Uh, oh my God, that completely distracted me from what I was talking about. Guys, help me. Oh my God, that totally took me to another place for a second. So sorry, Red. No, it's okay. It's okay. I was just like, just made my heart jump for a minute. Ah, I saw that too. Synchronicity new. Like, oh yeah, thank you, Lightworkers. I was like, what's going on here? Okay, Lightworkers and mentors. Um, yeah, every Lightworker I've ever met, it's happened very cosmically. And anytime, and because like I said, I get a lot of messages. I get a lot of freaking messages, including other YouTubers who want to work with me or who want to talk to me. And if I do even come across your message, my guides will tell me if I really need to like engage. And that's how I've typically met the light workers who've been in and out of my life, including mentors. It's because my guides were like, yes, you need to speak to them. Very, very clear. Very, very clearly. So that's how I've met them. But they've all been through way of my channel, right? Because that's how they found me. And then they messaged me, and then that's how I found them because my guides gave me the go ahead. Um, your mentors and light workers you met. Yeah, I'm back, guys. I'm back. Sorry. I was like, that really took me to another place. I'm back, guys. I'm back. Mentors. With mentors, it's really good to practice a lot of caution there. I do think that people are meant to be mentors sometimes very spontaneously, and for a period of time, because you can learn a lot from it. And maybe you're going to learn more than just, about your abilities and all of that. Maybe you have more of like an emotional lesson there, or you maybe need to break a pathology or a cycle within yourself based on the person that you're dealing with. Because like I said, like I had someone who I considered to be a mentor, and, unfortunately, they're not really a part of my life anymore. And it's unfortunate. But it also is what it is. And I learned a lot from it. And I think they learned a lot from it as well. And it's not like, and that's the other thing, it's not like I ever harbor any like negative feelings about them or anything like that at all. Like never at all. But yeah, things just happen the way they happen sometimes, But I do think you should always be careful when you want to take someone on as a mentor or a mentee, because when you do that, you're giving a lot of access to energy. You know what I mean? You're giving a lot of access to their energy. You're giving a lot of access to their, like, vice versa, right? So if you don't know them well, there could be some stuff that comes in that you might not want anything to do with. You know what I mean? So that's the precaution I would take with mentors and mentees, but I think that they're very necessary to have in this community. Excuse me. What's your advice for people that are very high empath, which I feel that, oh shit, where'd it go? I feel that this year is really heavy with me and my powers are getting better. Yesterday I had appendicitis surgery and I felt it. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Honestly, it seems like you're doing what you need to do. If you're getting more advanced in your abilities and your powers, you are going to feel a lot more, but you're also going to learn how to kind of control it a little bit better, right? So before you really ascended into your powers, I'm sure you had your methods of protecting yourself and guarding your energy. And the more powerful you get, you just have to expand on those methods. And it takes time. Again, it's not like an overnight thing. Even for myself, I have to always think about ways to improve my boundaries, because sometimes I feel like my boundaries are really strong, really good, and something will challenge that and I have to adjust for it. Or I will expand my energy. Like here, I've had to do a lot of shifting in that because my energy's expanded and my abilities have changed a little bit. I need to also alter my protective methods as well. So I'm also having to do that, but it takes time and it takes practice, because it's recalibrating a new frequency, right? Because like you've been riding a frequency for a little while and you know how to like protect yourself based on your frequency you're vibrating at. But then if that frequency changes, you got to change the way you deal with it, right? But it just takes, it takes time. It takes time. Should you always ask permission before sending healing energy to somebody? I send healing energy to people without permission. If you're doing anything else, I would ask for permission. But healing energy to me is like, that's love, right? That's love and that's healing. And I think that's really amazing to send that to somebody. However, here's a however. If you're sending it to somebody where shit went down, like between the two of you, like if you're sending, energy to your friend because they're going through something, by all means, send them some love, right? Send them some healing. But if you're sending healing to someone where shit blew up between the two of you, or if they've got some nasty attachments or whatever, I would suggest maybe holding off a little bit. Like hold space for them, but don't send them your energy directly, because if they have attachments or if they have a lot of like anger towards you, you're kind of giving a window to feel that in return because you're sending energy. But if your friend's going through something or a family member's going through something, by all means, send them some love. But I would just be very cautious with anybody that you've had an explosion with, or anyone that you know has a lot of attachments, is what I would just be very cautious of doing. Do you ever access Akashic records? Should anyone? I have seen it only because I've been given, and see, that's the thing, right? It's kind of like you can ask for permission, have access to it, but not everybody does. right? Not everybody gets to see it. Sometimes you are shown the records because you need to see something. So I have had access to the records, and I'm sure if I put more energy into it, I could see more of the records. But also, I don't know if I want to be honest with you. Um, well, I've had a couple experiences, but like one experience was really powerful and very telling, and actually was also a little bit of a clue and like a little bit of a push reveal into understanding who I am as a galactic being. Uh, and I really am grateful for that experience. But also, yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes when it comes to Akashic records, it can be beneficial to understand your origins, but anything else I feel like would just make you crazy. Like if you had information about what's coming for your personal life, some people that would make them insane because they're anticipating it and they're wondering how it's going to happen and how it's all going to come together, and then they can get fixated on it. So I think there's a time and a place, but yes, I have had access to it, and I know if I wanted to see more, they would let me, but I don't know if I want to be honest. I just don't know if I really need to either. But yeah, that's the other thing. I know if I need to see anything, they're gonna show it to me. You know? Like I know that. Anything I really need, they're gonna give it to me. They're gonna show me. And I know that. If there's anything I want to see, then it gets into the slippery slope of like, was it necessary that I saw that? Is it just gonna confuse me that I saw that? You know what I mean? So I mean, a little while ago, not a little while ago, more than a little while ago, I used to be kind of about that. Like, how much information can I find? The Scorpio me just like loved it. Like, ooh, I have access to stuff. What else can I find? What else can I find? Tell me everything. And that really just made me more confused. That gave me something to like. That gave me more to just fixate on. That like I don't need to fixate on shit. I got enough going on in my life. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. So honestly, if you need to see anything, they'll show it to you, and you could even set your intention that way. Like, show me anything I need to see. Tell me anything I need to be told that maybe I'm not aware of or that I'm not seeing for whatever reason or another. Please show me what I need, not what I want. What you want is a slippery slope. Let's see. I've had the 3 a.m. experience before. It's happy almost happening almost every morning. Yeah, 3 a.m. I'm used to the 3 a.m. thing. Most people who are awake will get the 3 a.m. experience, like waking up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Just when shit happens at that hour is when I'm like, oh, okay, some shit's kind of happening right now. Excuse me. The Scorpio parts of me are the same. I love to dig into stuff until the dirt runs out. Yeah, because then you get information and then you just get to see like all the pieces of the puzzle, you know? But yeah, I've had to really like calm that part of me down. I had a dream about you the other night. You somehow left the country. Oh, wow. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens at some point in time in my life. I always kind of felt like that a little bit. Like maybe I'm not supposed to live out my life in the United States. Like a little part of me has always kind of felt that. Like I've always been drawn to Canada. Actually, speaking on that note, I had to go to the Puget Sound. I know that's in the United States, but I had to go to the Puget Sound the other night, and when I, when I was in the other dimensions, and that was interesting. So I talked about this before too, a little while ago, where some of you who are, you know, who have ascended quite a bit and who have, this task of dealing with low vibrational energies and getting rid of them, they are going to be going to places that are going to look a little crazy because you're seeing very low vibrational frequencies that you're needing to deal with. And I basically was sent to the Puget Sound, and I was like, shit, there's some crap going on there. I never would have guessed. I haven't spent a lot of time at Puget Sound. I know I haven't spent a lot of time there. But yeah, it was gnarly. It was a little gnarly. There's some dark shit going on there, and I don't really know why. Like I don't know how it started, but yeah. So I was doing some crazy work there a few nights ago. I dream about you, and I asked you, can I have a reading? And you said I already did. This is the appendicitis surgery, girl. Oh my gosh. You know, so many things to tell you on that note. I am a dream walker. So I do go into people's dreams a lot. And I think I mentioned why I think that is. Because for a while I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I in everyone's dreams all the time? Like, I know I'm a dream walker, but like, what's the purpose? And I realized the purpose is I think my higher self is a guide for a lot of people, like a spirit guide for a lot of people. And I think that's part of what it is, where it's like I'm walking into your dreams because like it's almost easier to guide you that way in a very direct way, especially those of you who are like very awake and aware, right? I have also, and I do actually recall this. I have done sessions with people in the other dimensions, which is crazy. Like I have this little cave, and again, this is not like all like this is not intentional. It just kind of happens due to my higher self, right? There's like this little cave situation where I will have sessions with people. I haven't been there in a while though, but I also don't remember all of my experiences. But it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Let's see. Truth Seeker, thanks for 1111. Thank you for sharing so much. Love to you and all who can receive it. Oh, that's a very sweet message. I think that's a very important message right there. I love this conversation. What does it mean when you don't dream? Sometimes you just don't remember. A lot of times you could be dreaming, but you just don't recall it, you know? And sometimes they wipe your memory too if you're doing like training or anything like that in the other dimensions, or if you're experiencing something that is just a little too traumatic to remember, your memory will get wiped. That's all it means. I saw you in the mine the other day. I was so happy. That's cool. I think you've seen my dream. I have the man in the armchair that comes in my dreams. Yeah, guys, and that's the thing. Like, I think I do this so much that when I am walking into your dreams, for the most part, it's like for seconds, which is why I don't remember it. And I'm doing it a lot. There have only been a few times where I've had a prolonged experience, and I think it's because it's relating to a collective message that needs to come out. You know, like I had one a while back about, oh God, I can't even recall it. It's like so blurry at this point. I was definitely in someone's dream where oh God, I can barely remember it now. And there are a bunch of females. Oh, and it was about the men dying. That's right. Now I remember. It was the men who were dying. But they were boys. It was crazy. So there were a bunch of women around watching this. And it was someone's dream, and I was just a witness. And like that's how I also know I'm walking in someone's dream. I'm a total observer. People usually don't perceive my existence if they're extensions of your dream. Like if you're dreaming or walking down the street, you'll perceive me, but no one else around you will perceive me. Like that's how I know I'm dream walking. Anyway, so there's all these women like surrounding these two boys, and one was hurt, but one was like fatally hurt, like fatally, and he was the younger one. And the women were just kind of watching. Like there was no way to like save this child. And I feel like, oh God, I'm like, God, it's so blurry. It was a long time ago. I think it was the father. I think the father was there, and he was the one freaking out trying to like save save this like kid. And I think it was his son. Anyway, but the women were just watching. And then this boy eventually died. And then after the boy died, it's like, oh God, oh, what happened? I hate when this happens. Like I said, I haven't thought about it in months. It was a long time ago. Something happened with the women. The women did something because they just were kind of watching and just watching this boy die. And then the boy died. The women did something, and now I can't remember what it was, but the women did something after that. Like collectively, they did something. Oh, and now this seems like I really should have remembered, given everything we're going through. Thank you told us about this. Yeah, I think I did. But that's how I knew I was dream walking, because it was like I was watching, like I wasn't being perceived. You know what I mean? Let's see. You told us about this dream. Okay, I did. Okay. See, that's the thing. It was so long ago. I'm like, I can barely remember the pieces now. Excuse me. Whoa. What about dreams about gods, goddesses? What if you see through the dreamer's eyes, if you recognize the physical body to be different than yours? Wait a minute. I can't wrap my head around that question. Hold on. What about dreams about gods and goddesses? What if you see through the dreamer's eyes? Okay. If you recognize the physical body to be different than yours. It could be another form of dream walking. It could also be that you're having a vision of someone's experience. Sometimes visions will be like that, like you're actually experiencing it the way someone else experienced it. So it could also be that. Let's see. How do you feel about canceling contracts? Oh, hold on. Today's the 4th. Oh yeah, today's the 4th. Dismiss. How do I feel about canceling contracts? I don't really feel any kind of way about it, to be honest. I feel like that's everyone's personal decision. I feel like some contracts, like, you know, if you're having a hard time closing out a cycle with somebody and you've done it like lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, I don't see any problem with it. If you try to close out a contract with like someone significant though, like a light worker in your life, or like a mentor, or like someone who's like a counterpart, I would definitely try to question that. By the way, you can try to close out a contract with a counterpart. You might not be successful. You can't really close out a contract with a counterpart. But yeah, I don't have anything against it. I just think people should practice caution with it. Let's see. I remember the boy was severely hurt. Oh yeah, that's right, on his neck. Look, I did a video on it, so it's out there somewhere. It's out there somewhere in the YouTube ether. The woman I was watching the abuse in her dream and didn't say anything, she grew cysts on her thyroid in waking life. Oh, yeah. You know, the spiritual effects on the physical body are very real. Very real. You have a beautiful turquoise aura. Oh, it's turquoise today. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's interesting. It's normally not turquoise. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'll take it. Thank you. Can a dreamwalker hold trauma for another person in the case of having a vision? Oh, you mean like take on their trauma? Anything's possible when you're doing when you're having these kinds of experiences, as long as you know how to protect yourself against stuff like that. But you can take on it. You can take on anyone's trauma if you're an empath. Oh, Jesus. Or if you have abilities. Could you do I can't ever say that, thoth channeling. Okay. Here's my opinion on channeling, things like that. Depending on the method of channeling, because I've seen different ways people channel stuff. There are people who like allow things to try to like walk in through them. I don't think that's safe. I don't think that that's safe to do that. I also don't channel anything that I'm not meant to channel. Like when I do all these messages and readings and stuff, whatever's coming through is supposed to come through, and that's how I set the intention before I do the recordings and everything like that. Like I tell my guides, like whatever needs to come through, like for your highest good, that's just all that needs to come through. Otherwise, I don't need to channel anything extra. To me, all of my practice and spiritual needs and the way I go about things, it's all in the form of need. Not wants, not it'd be cool to do this. It's in the form of need. And anything outside of that, not needed. is how I look at it. And I think that's actually a really good way to try to keep yourself safe. If you guys are doing anything in your practice around want versus need, right? Because really what you need to come through will come through. And if you want more than that, you just don't need more than that, you know? I can't read all these usernames. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Hello, cute girl. Is that what that says? That's cute. Thanks for the 444. Just want to show a little love and gratitude. Well, thank you. Thank you for the love and gratitude and the financial support. I really appreciate that in these times. Excuse me. I haven't been able to remember my dreams for years. What can I do about this? Excuse me. When it comes to remembering your dreams, I know it can be frustrating because I go through periods of that too for various reasons. You can ask your guides to help you remember, to allow you to remember. You can also get certain crystals that will help you with that. Actually, Herkimer Diamond is really interesting for that. So is, oh God, I don't know if I can say it. Petersite? Pitersite? I think that's how you'd say that. That's a really good one for that. Tektite is really good. Serpentine can get interesting. If you sleep with one of those. There are all kinds of crystals to help you with your dreams and your dream space. So here's what I would do. I gave you some quick little, shares on what crystals I think would be good for that. But you can also just Google what crystals are good for that and just get them and see how you do with it. And like I said, also telling your guides that you want to remember. Sometimes I also realize that people don't recall their dreams because they're not working through some stuff. I've also noticed that, like people who have a lot of trauma or people who have been very, very closed off in their heart chakra or their crown chakra or their third eye or even their throat chakra, because throat chakra to me is about honesty even with yourself. And if you have like some major shutdown going on in your upper chakras, you're probably not going to remember your dreams so well. So making sure you worked on some shutdown situations, any of your trauma, telling your guides you want to remember, and to please let me remember, and getting some crystals that could help you with that. That's what I recommend for trying to remember your dreams. Sometimes it's really for a reason, and other times, you got that kind of stuff going on. Can you do a video called to train empath to need to control their powers? I try to do it with one of my clients, but you have a lot of knowledge. Well, and that's the thing. It's like, it's such a individual experience and it takes practice. You know what I mean? And I think it's a hard thing to teach. And that's like something I've addressed when people have asked me about that. When people have asked me like, how do I protect myself? How do I protect my energy? How do I protect myself from people's thoughts? Things like that. It's like, I can tell you what I do, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you, right? It's like everyone's ability is their own ability and everyone's frequency is their own frequency. And in order to protect that, you have to learn how to protect that for yourself because it's your individual experience with your individual frequency. So it's like, yeah, I've said my methods before on what works for me. But it's not going to work for everybody. So I know it's kind of a tough thing to say to people, but it's something we all have to practice on our own, and we can use other people as guidance, but we're not going to be able to do it unless we just learn to do it for ourselves. And like, you know, I know that people don't like hearing that, but it's just my truth with that, you know? And it doesn't mean that other people's guidance won't help. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that they can't do it for you, right? They can't tell you A, B, C, D, and then you're going to be good to go. You gotta do it for yourself, you know? So that's why I avoid doing videos like that. It's like the shadow work video I wanted to do because everyone was in like a really heavy, dark energy of like, and like kind of like underworld space of like, I'm trying to have a death process, but I don't know how to have a death process. And I don't know how to like have a rebirthing process. So I just did like a quick little, and even that video, I think I even said like, here are the methods that I know have worked for me or that have worked for other people. But it's just about doing it for yourself and having those honest conversations and confronting yourself is really what all that comes down to, right? It's like, I think I try to emphasize that with anything I'm like on a how-to of, and I just try to steer away from that because how-tos are different for everybody when it comes to abilities. And I know there are some gurus, so the whole guru conversation. I know there's some self-proclaimed gurus out there that are like, you know, pay me an exorbitant amount of money and I'll fix your problem. And it's just like, you know, I obviously I have like I have a thing about people who fit in that category because yeah, when it comes to ability specifically, there's not a one fix all. There's not a one solution for all. So I get really weird about people who try to like take advantage of people like that. But anyway, I'm probably gonna go. It's been almost 2 hours. So I should probably go. Exactly. There's no one size fits all method. Yeah, exactly. And for me to try to tell you that there is, I think is like arrogant and maybe even a little ignorant, you know, for me to tell you that there is. No, there's all kinds of methods for all kinds of problems and all kinds of solutions out there for all kinds of people. It just really is. But anyway, I'm just here to, you know, to just hang out with you guys, help you guys when I can, guide you guys when I can. But yeah, I can't, yeah, I'm not about the hand holding to your solution. I'm not really about that. But yeah, guys, I am gonna go. It's been almost 2 hours and I do have other stuff I have to do. But thank you guys for hanging out with me for like almost 2 hours. That's so crazy. And thank you guys so much for the super chat. Clyde, oh yeah, he did jump up here for a little bit. Thank you guys so much for the super chats and the support and yeah, for just kicking it with me and having these cool conversations. But I am going to do the energy shift reading today. So again, don't forget, today Jupiter is conjunct Pluto, and now we have Venus in Gemini, which it will be until August, which is kind of interesting. Oh, am I already getting information before I go? Okay, I know I said I was going to go, but let me just say this other thing. Can't stop talking. With Venus in Gemini until August, there might be a little bit of a standstill with feminine energies and divine feminine collective, while masculine energies are going through their birthing and progression and all of that. So that might be interesting. That might have an interesting play out of situations. Yeah, because divine masculine energies are going to have this, start having this momentum. Maybe this is going to come out in the reading. I don't know why I'm talking about it. I just can't help it. Besky, thanks for the $4.99. So masculine energies are going to have this momentum while feminine energies kind of have a standstill a little bit all the way through till summer. Oh, this is going to be interesting. And I don't think it means like they're going to be stagnant. I think divine feminine energies will be working, but it's more like almost like picking up a big project and sitting with it. You know what I mean? Like kind of sitting down with it, doing something while masculine energies have momentum and progress coming in for them. Ooh. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay. All right. That's it. That is it. Now I am going to go. Okay. All right. Before I get any more downloads or any more information, I am going to go. Have a good day and I will see you guys soon. Okay. Namaste.